The following game is rated M for mature. Some level may contain mature themes, nudity, and definitely strong language that may not be suitable for everyone. Your discretion is advised, I guess.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Okay, girls, who's throwing a cigarette?
Another body, and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
Exactly. Did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass? Is that what your old man paid college
I
for?
guess we start with the pawnbroker.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
All right.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
50 bucks?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
Yeah, we all pawn to pawner.
What's this mark here?
H.
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip.
Okay, maker's mark on a ring. Okay, what about this one?
Does this
22
mark mean
carat.
anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
Okay, I don't know how the ring is related to this, but we'll see.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think.
Yeah, it's asking for more
Sorry.
money.
He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
Hey. The question is, do we go to the case or do we follow the... Oh, never mind.
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus.
Oh.
Purpose having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. If the Dahlia letters are genuine, then the man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Muller.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
So there's like a
have to rely on
overarching
this guy
case
tripping
that we
up on
need
his
to
own vanity.
basically solve eventually, I'm assuming. And I am not gonna have fun figuring that out at all.
You boys ready? Follow me.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. Got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it. Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them.
There has to be a censor for the language, right? There's no way. Jeez, I know the language was more used back then, but still.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Guy on top of... Is this the man? Is that it? Let's talk to the man.
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some
John
questions,
Jameson.
John.
Let's call him JJ.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck,
Okay,
knucklehead.
What were
Ferdinand.
you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her.
Kissing a dead woman's
against the law.
body.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand.
What the lipstick?
Classic Carmine.
Classic Carmine lipstick.
Wouldn't park there if I
Right
were you.
these up. Anything else on it? Oh.
Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop!
Oh my god.
Don't hit him.
That guy.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight
What
last
the
night. She wasn't
fuck
here
is wrong
then.
with this
Let
guy?
me belt him again.
You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
You found her lipstick. What did you write on her body?
What are you talking about? I didn't write anything.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Fucking
Sure, Rusty.
necrophilia. Jeez.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the
Strangulation.
time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Death after midnight ETF. Right. And first. Ring stolen.
Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Wouldn't
First,
park there if I were you.
what is this?
This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
The bar.
someone at Mensch's will remember her.
Two 122 Saint David Street, 111 Bridgeport, Connecticut. Dear Evelyn, I hope that this letter finds you in a better way than when we last parted. Bitter words were exchanged. You had taken too much liquor, and we both know what that makes you become. Oh, it's been
Someone was
ripped.
trying to get her to come home.
But I am not writing to harass and accuse. I am writing to apologize. I am heartbroken seeing what had become to my little girl and what she is doing to herself. You are destroying your body and your soul with liquor, Evelyn, and it is harder for me to watch than you can imagine. But only God Almighty above us has the right to judge, and so I beg your forgiveness. I've been in contact with the sanitarium here in Connecticut on your behalf. They say your condition is an illness, Evelyn, and that it can be treated. You only need to check yourself in. It will not... And then that's kind of it. Half a letter.
We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Before we do that,
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks for your help.
start off with the liquor store, I guess.
You read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah, I read about that.
Those people are starving. They can't do that.
Want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? Guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. Spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband.
Robbins.
She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store. That was never going to work out, was it?
We'll take a look around.
The word?
When exactly did Evelyn work in the picture?
Keystone
A few years
Films.
ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
Okay. Work,
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was...
music, copyright. And a bowling pin? This is a reward as well. This is alcohol.
Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Huh? Family photo.
She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
Another photo? Was it daughter? I don't know if there's anything about that, but sure. Do we talk to the bar owner now then? Or do we just go to... Oh. Wow. That's fast.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
For a guy.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Okay, I mean, there's nothing else to here now, is there? It's already revealed everything. So we can go to the bowling alley. There's more. Okay, I'm just gonna say, hopefully I didn't miss anything yet, and I'm just gonna go to the bar first. Maybe we're just missing something because we're missing detail to ask like a question or something. Because I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that we've searched everything in this place already.
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, Homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
Great. Bunch of these guys.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No. I was at home. Writing.
That's a big doubt that I can call on it.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings.
Everything is pointing back at the bowling alley.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Do you want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's more people here, right? Or not. So these guys means one dude. And they all point to the same place. Oh no, there's another guy here. Hey, bud.
You a friend of Evelyn Summers?
Who's asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me, copper.
I talked to the
The regulars might have something else to tell you, but I don't.
I guess everything leads to the bowling alley. Again, the location did not cross out, so I'm a bit worried in terms of if I'm missing something here.
You're behind the wheel. What did you make of McCaffrey?
There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles.
I meant as a suspect, Rusty.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Is that him?
Thanks for running. Peanuts are walking down the street. One with the salt.
Tiernan! LAPD!
Great, another runner.
There!
Fancy looking car.
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've
That's what I'm asking.
in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to land it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means.
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble.
Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Dude, that guy ran into the road.
Whoa, looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill himself.
It's all right, as long as he doesn't kill us, I'm okay with it. Ah, God damn it, the train up ahead. Watch out, Cole.
Buddy?
Put your hands in the air!
Oh no, what? Yeah.
Help me out.
Must have missed something at Levine's liquor. For a person living rough, keeping things there must mean something. Let's get back there.
Oh my god, I can open
she
the
was
book.
Borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey. Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem.
There we go.
Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
We don't see that.
Hey, we're done. Jeez. Okay, now I need to look back into the bar. Whatever I missed there as well.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central. Go to.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
We go back to Central, I guess.
Guy gave his wife a cat. I said, "Oh, staring at her."
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
Come on.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And to follow up on Evelyn Summers, I want daily reports.
Daily? Wait, hold up. This is not in one day. Is that
We
it?
got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
Where's the phone?
I got a call back.
Hey,
that
I
universal
gave his wife a
phone
cat. He said all's fair in love and war.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you.
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What you got to do with it?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the Slam River found out.
Okay, wait. Before we even go there, I need to check which floor he's in. Six.
McCaffrey is in apartment 6.
There we go.
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Huh. Bloody wrench and clothing.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you gonna give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
Let me move.
Grosvenor McCaffrey!
Is that the bar guy?
Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll
that
talk.
son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
How close do I need to be before I can start sprinting? Come on, man. It's not allowing me to do it. I don't want the car to catch up. I want to tackle him.
There he is, officer!
Give it up, LAPD.
Come on. There we go.
McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
Doesn't really tell me anything.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey.
I want to say it's
Unless
McCaffrey over the
Terry
bowling
set him
guy.
up.
Yeah, that's also
I don't
true.
think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. It wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay, so we have two people to interrogate. The person at... Wait, what?
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them.
I do believe it's McCaffrey.
Don't fail me, young fellas.
McCaffrey said it was in 2, so I'm just gonna go with number 2.
Guy gave us away for tap. I'd say
You
all
ready to
fair
answer
in
some
love and
questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective.
That's the book writer.
Let's see
Oh.
where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to
Behind
do
his
with
ear.
her.
Barely little.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
It's the book.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid. Looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Aha. Very good. That's one to you, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight.
He just kind of admitted
Remind
to
me, where
doing
were you?
something to her at least.
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
Oh, we didn't get the alibi from the neighbor.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
The wrench or the tire iron. But like...
You're going to have to do better than that, detective.
Crap.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
We bust in there and find the goddamn
Whatever.
evidence.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
He ran.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Yep.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
What? Why doesn't he remember?
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
You were smoking a cigarette in the other room?
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
No, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Were you at home last Saturday?
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
I haven't found a ring at
I
all.
want to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
But only if I guarantee you are.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I'm gonna go with intuition. Lie.
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Okay. If I knew that that's his response, oh my god, I can't. If I knew that was his response, I would have said lie 100%.
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
Oh. Why is there a phone
Drink. I got the jitters.
icon? Where's the phone? Closest. Why is there a phone icon? And where can I find a phone? Phone a friend? Phone a friend. Where? Let's do a phone.
We finally collared him on the temple.
Oh, there it is.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks.
Criminal record.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn.
Anything else I can talk to him about the previous?
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
Lie, literally.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
No record. Literally just heard that.
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore. She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have.
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Oh. Charge.
Grosvenor McCaffrey,
Charge.
I'm charging
Charge.
you with the murder of Evelyn
Charge.
Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
I'm hoping that this is the right person.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
The only reason why I said charge him rather than let him go is because he popped off over like a woman outsmarting him. And last time he nearly beat up a woman and got discharged. This time nothing was really stopping him besides the law. So I'm assuming that is why the case is. And the guy, how should I say, was willing to basically not sly. I don't know. He kind of played the role of like, oh, because of the situation, well, I blame the other guy. Or this guy came to me because of the murder, yada yada yada. I feel like he was just trying to outsmart someone, and then I don't know. Who knows if I'm right or wrong? Either way. That's another one done. Is there a cutscene? If not.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Can we rally with the first and try for the Nambus?
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nabus and enfilade.
Mate,
we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant, get back off this fucking bridge. They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions. We only have minutes. I'm in charge here, Sergeant. Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant. What's your unit, Sergeant? We don't have time for this, Lieutenant. What's your unit, Sergeant? I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river. My orders are to reconnoiter the...
Okay.
I think that point is now moot. You have 10 men left. My orders are to save what's left. Move out!
So this case is a little bit confusing to explain, but it's not as confusing as the last case where I actually missed a few sequence. First things first, we missed the question with McCaffrey when we were at the mensch bar, and essentially how you do it, and I don't know if I did it because I didn't do it right the second time I played it. When we first went to McCaffrey at the mensch bar, we got 2 questions essentially, and we're always going to be missing 1 in that case. However, if we were to go to the liquor store first and then go to the mensch bar, that third question will appear while one of the two questions originally will disappear. So I'm not going to play through the game again because it's relatively early in the game stage and everything. I missed one question even after playing through the game the second time, which is confusing. Now, granted, does it confirm that if I were to go to the mensch bar, ask a selective amount of question, go to the liquor store, do those kind of tasks, and then go back to the mensch bar, will I get all 3 questions? Who knows? You still get 5 stars out of it, so I ain't complaining. Anyways, here's also the missing or the unique different question that we were supposed to ask him that didn't show up.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You looked down your nose at Evelyn, but you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. I'm telling you again, I barely knew the woman.
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself, lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and lies to my face that she didn't take it, as if she could even comprehend any of it. I saw her go into a hotel with Tiernan last night. They had booze in a paper bag. He's your man.
Everything else past this point is more or less the same except for one thing. At McCaffrey's apartment, there's actually the second half of the letter that we found missing at the very beginning of the crime scene.
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene.
And finally, for the interview, I kind of missed an interview, but that's actually a missable one and still complete the whole case anything. But for the interview wise, you're actually supposed to go to Tiernan's case first, and because of me, I got some questions wrong. The first 2 questions are supposed to be lies. Here it is.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night, we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this?
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
Afterwards, we're supposed to go to McCaffrey's and interview him. Here's the second question that I got wrong.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
And then here we go back to Tiernan, which is a interrogation that is skippable or missable. Either way.
You spoken to McCaffrey? I can go, it's all been cleared up?
Not quite. We have one more question we need to ask, James. Then I think we will be done.
Sure. Go ahead.
So Evelyn passed out, and you walked out. What happened next?
I woke up in the morning, very hungover. I thought Evelyn would have come back.
I know you're lying, James. You went out looking for her. Tell me what really happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. How can you say I wasn't in that hotel room?
You wound up at McCaffrey's. You were still incredibly drunk. You passed out on his floor. It's time to tell me what really happened.
McCaffrey woke me up the next morning, and he showed me the lug wrench and the letter and the box. And he said I came in with him last night. He said that I killed Evelyn. And that it was all over the radio. And that he would protect me. And I don't know, Detective, for the life of me, I can't remember a goddamn thing. And I was angry with her. Really angry. I could have done it. Was it me?
And anything afterwards is the same thing. I mean, it feels like the same thing. I'm not entirely sure if the dialogues are different or not. I'm not gonna go check every single dialogue back, but regardless, off to the next case.